Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're joined by Michael Rondeau, the CEO of the Cow Creek Band of Umpqua Tribe of Indians. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we're here to talk about the Western Oregon Tribal Fairness Act, but first things first, as CEO of the tribe, what are your duties?
I have a varied responsibility. I always joke about it that I do everything no one else wants to do. But we have a lot of different programs and projects that we have going on at the tribe, and I have a very good executive team that works with me, and I really am very fortunate in that manner.
So recently the president signed the Western Oregon Tribal Fairness Act. How does that affect Cow Creek?
Well, it is bringing forth a promise that was in our 1853 treaty. That treaty called for a permanent reservation, but never materialized. And it was here we are 160 years later, and Congress has approved this act, and it's been signed by the president.
Wow, so that's pretty historic for you.
It is. We've really worked pretty diligently on this for the last 5 years, and it has gone through some, verbiage changes, but it's gone through 2 Congresses and didn't pass, and this third one was the charm, and it was signed.
How involved was the Oregon delegation in causing the Fairness Act to come to pass?
Extremely involved. Senator Merkley was very supportive. However, Senator Wyden was the lead on our bill in the Senate. He introduced it, and on the House, it was introduced by Congressman DeFazio, but Congressman Walden was very helpful in it.
How much land was granted in this act?
It's a little more than 17,500 acres. It's mostly located in southern Douglas County, around the Cow Creek drainage and the South Umpqua drainage.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're joined by Michael Rondeau, the CEO of the Cow Creek Band of Umpqua Tribe of Indians. We're talking about the Western Oregon Tribal Fairness Act. That started with a treaty. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, the treaty that was signed by the tribe and the United States government in 1853 was negotiated in one day, and it was a treaty that ceded more than 800 square miles of tribal land to the United States government in exchange for certain housing, health, and social programs that would be available for the tribes. Unfortunately, because of the Rogue Indian Wars in 1855, our treaty was ignored by the government for about 128 years until 1982, when we received federal restoration.
So compared to the land that was promised you and how much you have now, how is that the same, or does it differ?
Oh, it's a very, very small amount of what our tribe had.
Okay. So what are your plans for how to use the new land that you have?
Well, obviously we will have the ability to manage the forests that exist in this property, and we're looking forward to utilizing techniques that will bring about a healthy forest that can basically combat the fires that we've all been experiencing in the last several years, and hopefully those techniques can be copied by other organizations that would be able to utilize them.
On the land that you did just receive, there had been some formal recreational use in that area. Is that something that you plan to continue?
Yeah, the access to the areas will be open. We, as a tribe, use those same areas as well.
Okay. And then have all of the parcels in the Fairness Act legislation been finalized, or are there still some discussions about how these could be used?
There's an administrative process that we'll be undergoing for the next 180 days, I believe it is, and it's basically a administrative transition.
Okay, still a little bit up in the air.
Yeah, we just have to get it completed.
All right, Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.